But when you practice this in thirds, it allows you to come up with different things. So let's say, what song? My Life is in Your Hands. So, right? So right there I do. Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Chord Crush Thursdays, where every week we get to a new chord or chord progression that'll hopefully help you to experience your chord vocabulary and also take your playing to another level. This is episode 19. We do this every week, so if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Also, hit the like button on your way in. That's absolutely free for you to do, and it helps us a lot because it helps more people to see these videos. So now, before we get started, I want to say congratulations to last week's winner who won 90 free days in the Gospel Music Training Center. We got piano tutorials on all your favorite songs. We got organ videos. We got band instructional videos too as well. We got a little bit of everything, whether you're beginner to advanced. We have something for everybody. It's gospelmusictraining.com. And also, if you want the free PDF guide from all the previous Chord Crush Thursdays videos, including this one, with all the chords and all 12 keys, text the number on the screen, text Crush to the number on the screen, and it's also in the description below. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. We're gonna continue from where we left off on the last video. I don't know why I thought last video was episode 17. We took a week off and it threw my whole mind off, but last week was episode 18. If you check that video out, let me know in the comments below. What we're gonna do is pick it up and build on top of that foundation. So if you haven't got a chance to check it out, it's important that you see that because it's gonna connect to what I'm gonna show you in this particular video, okay? So we're gonna be in the key E flat major. Let's look at the number system and scale. So E flat is the 1, F is the 2, G is the 3, A flat is the 4, B flat is the 5, C is the 6, D is the 7, and now we're back at the 1, E flat. So that's the number system and scale for the key of E flat major. So on episode 18, we got into some things that are going to connect directly to this video. So if you check that video out, episode 18, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought about that. I gave you some shortcuts to find what we call the altered scale, and then I'll also introduce you to some of the alterations to the dominant 7 chord and how they connect and how you can use that to go to different places, going from the 3 to the 6. In this case, we're in the key E flat, so going from the G to the C, right? And using an altered chord on the 3, which is that G, you can use a sharp 5, sharp 9, you can use a sharp 5, flat 9, you know. We got into all that stuff. So if you didn't get a chance to check that out, you missed out, check out episode 18. But now we're gonna keep building on the concept of using the altered scale. So if you didn't check out the last video that I did, which is episode 18, we're looking at the G altered scale and how to use that and manipulate that to create movement and create some things like stuff like this. Or, and that's still going from the 3 to the 6, but I'm using the altered scale to do that using 2-note movements, right? So I showed you how to find the altered scale simply by finding what the melodic minor scale is a half step up. So if we want to find the G altered scale, this is a quick review, I already broke this down, but if we want to find the G altered scale, the G altered scale is the same exact thing as the A flat melodic minor scale, which is the tone that's a half step up. So if you want to find the G altered scale, find look at the tone that's a half step up from that note, which is A flat. So then you would find the A flat melodic minor scale, and all you do is, once you find that, start from G and then go to G. So the melodic minor scale, a half step up, is easy to find because all the melodic minor scale is just all you got to do is take the major scale of that tone. So if we're trying to find an A flat melodic minor scale, then let's just first start with the A flat major scale. You got to know that. If you're trying to get all advanced and stuff, you got to at least know the major scale first. So the melodic minor scale is, all you got to do is take the major scale and then take the third tone of the scale. So in this case, the third tone of A flat major is C. So once you flat that, boom, now we got the flat third, which is technically called C flat, but now we're gonna call this B to make it easy. So all we did was take a major scale, flat the third, and now this is the melodic minor scale. So now that we got this, all we gotta do is start from G, right? So now we know that this is the melodic minor scale. The tone that's a half step below the root note, this would be that altered scale. So a half step below the root note of A flat is G. So this is the same exact thing as the G altered scale. So you can do it like that. It'll be really easy to find if you find a melodic minor scale. So for example, the D flat melodic minor scale is the same thing as the C altered scale, right? That's another example. If we take the D flat major scale, flat the third, now this is a D flat melodic minor scale just by taking that third and flattening it. And then now if we start from C, which is a half step below the root note of D flat, this is the C altered scale. So I just took it to another key so you can get another example, but I broke all that stuff down. So now, what are we doing on this video? Well, I'm gonna try to make it quick. What I want you to do now is take this scale and practice it in thirds. Pretty much every other note of the scale, because this is something that you can use to create movements and different things that will kind of spice up your playing. So basically you want to take this G altered scale, right? And simply just practice it in thirds. And that's basically using every other note of the scale. So start with the first note of the scale, which is G, and then go to the other note of the scale. You skip A flat and go to the third tone of the G altered scale, which is, you can call this A sharp or B flat, depending on how you want to look at it, okay? And then you just keep going up the scale. So you go from here to here, to here, to here, to here, and keep going. So you just want to practice the scale going up. And this is, you know what? The reason why I'm also doing this is because this is the same exact thing that I showed you when we were doing melodic minor things and movements with the key for A flat, for the A flat minor 6. Right? So it's the same exact concept, but now once you do this over G, it creates, and some of y'all might not know what I'm talking about. I broke this down in like episode, I think 15 or 16. We got so many now. So yeah, with a lot of those church movements, this is the same concept where you use thirds. But we took that concept, and some of y'all might be confused because y'all didn't watch that video, but we took the same concept of thirds, but based off of the melodic minor for the 4 in the key of E flat with a minor 6 chord. But if you take this same concept and apply it to the G altered scale, it's gonna take on a totally different sound, because now you're not doing it off of the 4, you're doing this off of the 3. So we're in the key of E flat major, right? The melodic minor scale is in the altered scale is the same thing. It's just going to reflect on 2 different types of chords. So if you do the melodic minor scale for A flat, then it would be off of like an A flat minor 6 chord, right? Some people would say a F minor 7 flat 5. It all depends on how you want to see it, but I'll try to make this easy as possible. But the same concept works on the G because they share the same notes. But when you practice this in thirds, it allows you to come up with different things. So let's say, what song? My Life is in Your Hands. So, right? So right there I do. So basically, when I know I'm going to go to the 3 and I'm going to go to the 6, and I know if I do like an altered chord on the 3 going to the 6, that's when these thirds can come into play, because now you can play around with going to the altered scale and then resolving. So it's really all about tension and release. You create the tension and then you release the tension. So basically, how you're going to be able to do that, you first have to get this altered scale, which is the same. If you practice the melodic minor scale with some of those other videos that I did, you already know it. And that's exactly why I'm doing this, because for those of y'all who watch those other videos that got some of these concepts based off of the melodic minor idea, you know what I mean? All you're going to do is translate that just to a different tone of the scale. So instead of doing it off the A flat, right? We're doing it off of the 3. The same concept. That would work off of a A flat minor 6 because of the A flat melodic minor scale. And one more time, just so you can hear it, that would be like, you know, going from the 4 with an A flat minor 6 chord to like a 5 with an E flat major chord, right? Well, if you take that same thing and you do that over the 3, which is G, now it sounds totally different. Whoops. And now you would go to the 6th tone, from the 3 to the 6. So it's really all about practicing this scale and knowing how to create the tension and then release it. So when it comes down to it, I would really start to look at, okay, this is more so in this particular situation. You can do other things too as well, but I'm using it in a 3 going to the 6 chord progression. So on the 3, I'm thinking a dominant 7 with either a sharp 5 or whatever alteration you want to create. If you watched the last video, I said that you can alter the dominant 7 chord using the altered scale, which you can add the sharp 5, you can add the flat 9. You know, it all depends on how you want to do it. But, you know, when I'm using this concept, I'm probably going to play the 3rd and flat 7th of the bass note to get the dominant sound, right? And then, you know, you can do whatever. So the idea for me is understanding, you know, what notes can resolve to what. You can pretty much go to any voicing of a minor chord, but it'll make more sense if you can kind of say, okay, if I go to this C minor 11 chord, right? And then I look at the altered scale for G, because this is like a G7 with a sharp 5, sharp 9, or whatever type of altered chord you want to look at, going to a 6 chord with a minor type of chord, right? Well, if we look at the minor chord and we compare the altered scale for G, you can resolve from certain 2-note movements. So you can go from like F and A flat to E flat and G. So it'll be like going from the G to the C like that, or the A flat and B to the G and B flat. So basically, all I'm thinking is altered scale to the C minor 11, altered scale to the C minor 11, altered scale to the C minor 11. So basically what I'm doing when I'm trying to come up with concepts, I'm trying to take the altered scale using 2 notes and use those 2 notes to kind of resolve down to some of the notes that are in the chord that I'm going to go to. So if I'm going to go from a G7 with a sharp 5, sharp 9 on the 3, and then I'm going to end up like on a minor chord on the 6th tone, we're still in the key of E flat major, right? This is a 3-6 chord progression, right? So if I'm using the altered type of chord on a 3, then this is where these movements can come in, because let's say I'm gonna just hold this chord, and this would be over the 6th tone, which is C, right? So if I take the altered scale, right, and that's why it's important to understand this, because now you're gonna be able to look at the scale and say, okay, what 2 notes can resolve to some of the 2 notes that are in this chord? So if I look at E flat and G right here, and then I look at the altered scale, well, F and A flat can work my way down to G. Okay? So if I end up on these 2 notes, I know that can take me to, a part of the chord that I'm gonna go to, okay? So it's like, here's the tension, and then we're gonna release it on some of the notes that are in the chord, or just pretty much play the chord. So if I was to work my way to this, it's a matter of, okay, how am I gonna work myself or work my way to this particular interval, these third intervals. So it's just a matter of experimenting. Okay, so I'm just going right down. And then from here, I can actually play whatever voicing I want, because I know that this could take me to, the C minor. So it's like tension, then release, okay? Although the voicing I'm playing would probably be something like this. It'll make more sense. But let me see. But you can do this voicing, but I'm still working my way to a minor part of a 6 type of chord. So these concepts are advanced, so you gotta already kind of have some basic voicings under your belt to really allow this to make sense to you. But even if I were to do something else, now I just changed the voicing, but that's focusing on ending up on these 2 notes that are a part of the altered scale, right? And then resolving to the minor chord, because this works. So you can start higher, and keep in mind, I'm only making up these examples. You can do whatever you want to do. You can skip around. You don't necessarily have to go straight up or straight down to get to certain points. You can start off going down and then skip. I just skipped these 2. So if I were to just go right down, it'll be like this. But you can switch it. It's still going from the 3. And then I ended up on my destination where I wanted to go to actually create the tension that's going to end up resolving, going to the minor. And then you can even go up, okay? And then resolve on the minor. So the idea with these concepts are tension and release. Tension and release. So once you start to practice, and if you watch that other video that I showed you with the melodic minor, some of y'all already got this down already. Now it's just a matter of taking the same idea and applying it to the 3 instead of the 4, right? So, let me see if I can show you something else. So we got the F and A flat going down to the E flat and G, right? Or the F and A flat going up to the G and the B flat. And we also got the A flat and B as one of those places that you can land on and then resolve, okay? You can also end up on the B and the E flat, and that'll take you to the B flat and D part of the chord. So basically, I'm taking the altered scale and I'm saying, taking 2 notes and seeing how those 2 notes can resolve to a part of the chord that I want to end up on, which is going to make it make more sense harmonically, okay? So now, how can I end up on this chord? You can do something like that. And all I'm doing is playing the sharp 5, the altered chord on my left hand, okay? So really these ideas are just things that you could do to create more movement. I mean, these are things that you could use in talking music. These are things that you could use within a song. And I showed you those last two, this one, but there's even more. Just look at how you can resolve on certain tones of the scale. Like, so, so this could also resolve to the chord. Right? So this is a way of taking what you're doing and taking the scale and using it as a way to play outside. If you ever heard somebody say play outside the key or stuff like that, this is a concept that can help you to create things that are like, whoa, what was that? All right, so we're gonna stop this video right here. On the next video, on episode 20, I think, on episode 20, we're gonna get into some more specific things as far as the movements going from the 3 to the 6. Once again, this was another concept I wanted to get you started with, understanding, but we're gonna dive deeper on the next episode, and hopefully as we continue to dive, this is gonna start to make more sense. I'm gonna give you more examples and chord progressions, and also I'm gonna try to take some more songs and implement this into some more songs. So God bless. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Now we're going to pick a new winner to win 90 free days in the Gospel Music Training Center. God bless y'all. Here we go. We're going to go to last week's video and copy the link. All right, then we're going to come back over here and paste it in. Filter out any duplicate users and gather the comments. So we got 35 comments on here. So let's see who won. All right, congratulations, Ephraim. You won 90 days in the Gospel Music Training Center. And your comment was, I am truly impressed with your teaching method, and that is why I am proud to be a part of Hear and Play. Thank you for all you do. God bless. Wow, Ephraim, I really appreciate that. Congratulations on your winning 90 free days in the Gospel Music Training Center. Make sure you reach out to us at help@hearandplay.com. Once again, that's help@hearandplay.com, and we'll get you your free 90 days. So once again, guys, thanks for tuning in to another Chord Crush episode. Congratulations, Ephraim. God bless. I'll see y'all on the next one.